you never want to minimize a win, and there were a lot of elements of the win that were good, far from perfect. See, but there is one thing that bothers me right away. So you get your face kicked in on national TV on a Monday night, right? I know it's a tough chore, 3,000 miles away. Niners are really good. Nobody really thought I thought they might cover. I didn't think the Jets would win. Few of us did, and they did not, and they really weren't competitive. So after the game, when they got pushed around on the ground game by McCaffrey's running backup, like there was just a lot wrong with that game. They surrendered, with the white flag with Aaron Rodgers taking a seat with a couple of minutes to go. So what would they be, and how would they look in week number 2? Now, they did some really good things eventually. We'll get to that. But Sal, and this is the biggest issue with the Jets, they are still not well coached because if Will Levis is not the quarterback, all right?
Yeah.
I think the Jets probably lose this game because they're losing 7-0. So right away, after an initial 3-and-out, they allow and then the Jets, give the ball back fast. They do nothing on offense. Very predictable play calling again early. Go left, running, go right, running, punt. Like that's got to change. Hopefully it will. But then they are a whisker away from being down 14-zip. They recover the fumble. All right, great. Will McDonald was awesome. But then the Jets do nothing with it. They wind up punting like, I know they won, and they should, I'm going to use this word and stick with it. They should mop the Patriots on Thursday, but far from perfect Jets win.
It would be the SOJ, same old Jets, if not for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's it. It's the same thing. Salah goes out there and has the gall after week 1 and that trouncing to say it's an easy fix. Well, what week exactly, Coach, is that easy fix going to take place? Because I was watching week 2. You know what I saw? Your defense getting steamrolled again. A defense that talks tough, that does not live up to the hype. That's a major, major problem here for this team. Now, they won because of Aaron Rodgers' greatness, and there's many layers to tackle with that, but it's not the same old Jets because they have number 8, an actual real-life quarterback who will give you a chance. Otherwise, it was the same thing. They're badly coached, the defense is overrated, can't make a play, and the Titans basically gave them that game handed to them on a platter, which is why they were able to take it. Now, you give them credit for winning, like you said.
100%.
But my God.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem, this defense. An easy fix. My ass. Robert Salah is just lost. Oh, and by the way, the penalties, which continue to be a major issue for this team. What's the penalties tell you about a head coach? The lack of discipline? That's on him, and this is a constant thing. God, easy fix. Well, then how about you fix it? How about you? Well, people asking, I didn't see the post game, and the Jets won, so it's a little different.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the same way we asked Dable questions here, well, why not ask Salah? Hey, you said you were going to fix this. We were all watching. It didn't look like you fixed anything. And against a team who can't even move the football with the Titans.
I do think that roughing the passer call was the worst one we might see all season. That was ridiculous. Now, that's a penalty that I'm going to absolve the coaching staff of. They did it. That was Jermaine Johnson, who's now gone for the year. And we'll get to what this means with Reddick a little later. But, listen, the Jets, to me, are going to be... they're in it all year. I mean, unless Rodgers goes down, then all bets are off, obviously. But if Rodgers is playing, you just saw the little subtleties. Like, you're watching some of the throws. You're like, I haven't seen a throw like this from a Jet quarterback in my life. And it's nice to see him still be able to manipulate very easily defenses with his mind. And they got talent. Right? But I'm watching, and it's much more pronounced in the stadium. And we've seen... like video from fans in stadiums over the years, what I'm about to bring up, but I saw it with my own eyes. So they give up that first touchdown, and they got pushed around 7 minutes, right, after what happened in San Francisco. And I'm at the 40-yard line, about 20 rows up, right behind the Jets bench. 6 seats. I sent you the picture.
Yeah.
But 6 just for the aesthetics of the game, but perfect to dial in on the body language and the interaction. And when they gave up that touchdown, and it's on my X account. Go check it out. Robert Salah didn't say a word to anybody. He was walking around aimlessly, no fire, like just nothing. I know that you and I are a little different, a little nuts, a little wacky. I couldn't understand. I could never relate to being a head coach, whether my job's up for grabs or not, and his clearly is. If my team's getting pushed around, not lighting somebody up. I know they're making a ton of money. I know they're not high school kids. They're pros. But you got to stop holding their hand. Now, they won, and I'm happy, and they did some things well. But he's just never going to change, man. Well, it was so passive. It was embarrassing.
But then that's the problem. And the other thing is, even though they won and there's hope because of Aaron Rodgers, because of Robert Salah, and if the defense is not great, like top 3 defense,
it's not going to be.
They're not.
It's not going to be.
Then
Let
the
me
Super
spare
Bowl.
everybody the suspense.
Okay. It's over. The Super Bowl aspirations are over. That was supposed to be their calling card along with Rodgers, who, before we get to the calls, I just want to say, because you mentioned it before, like, I don't know if we've seen anything like this. Aaron Rodgers. Now, it is also in comparison to what we've seen from both the Giants and Jets quarterbacks in recent years, but in general, the decision-making, that's what stands out. Like, yes, his arm strength and the ability to make those throws, but when was the last time we in this town saw a quarterback make the decision as quick as Aaron Rodgers makes the decision before he even really gets set? And like, we sit back there and the clock, you watch, like Jones even yesterday still holds on to the ball way too long. Good God, Zach Wilson or Darnold, whatever. And I know it's apples to oranges here, but just watching Rodgers drop, boom, bing, ball gone. He knows where he's going with it before anybody else in the stadium does. It is refreshing to watch Rodgers play quarterback. It's the only reason why they're not the same old Jets. Salah's going to hold them back, BT.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, listen, they got two very different running backs, which is nice. One blur and one beast. That's good. And obviously, Garrett Wilson's terrific. I think Mike Williams is going to get more and more. That would have been a really nice grab over the middle that he dropped. That was a dime. I thought he should have caught that, but he made a big play late to atone for that. The Jets special teams is pretty good. Will McDonald showed some signs, but if he can't stop the run, and now with this injury to Jermaine Johnson, it's got to change the level of expectation for this team. It doesn't mean that, something crazy can't happen. I do think they'll be a playoff team, but this doesn't look like anything remotely close to a Super Bowl defense. It just doesn't. 888-808-1019. They might have to make some trades. They really might. You talk about the Reddick stuff, which we'll do later. Joe Douglas, if you got a 1 or 2 year window here with Rodgers, which they do, you're going to have to bring in some big bodies up front. I mean, they're going down like flies. So